Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space where we discuss everything relationship and love. And I'm your host, Franca. Tonight we're flying solo, and I have just Precious with me. Precious, how now? How you there?
Evening.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing amazing. How are you?
I'm fine. Oh, again, it's just cold weather, but we're good.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
It's just the cold weather, but aside that, we're fine. Okay, so we're gonna have a very long conversation today, but it's something that I think we would have, you know,
Yeah.
we'll have fun discussing. So we're saying, why do adults friendship fade easily than childhood friendship?
Yeah.
Yeah, than childhood friendship. Any particular reason why it fades easily?
I would not necessarily agree with the statement 100%
Okay.
because it goes both ways. But over time, it's not about it even fading easily. Over time, we found out that some bonds that last longer are from childhood friendships more than the adult
More than
ones.
the
Not that the
adult
adult
ones.
ones completely fade. And there are so many factors that can contribute to this. We have similarities between both, we have differences, but we have certain things that make them stand out from each other. And it's like you said, it's going to be a long discussion. We're going to have time to properly dissect the topic. But basically, why adult friendships look like they might fade more easily is because of all of the challenges that come with adult friendships. Because again, you and I are already adults when we met. So there are so many things we don't know about each other. And what's going to determine the length of our relationship is as we keep finding out these things about each other, is it going to strengthen us or is it going to break us? One. Two, the way we find out about these things also matter. Three, the life changes that come with being an adult can also affect the type of friendships we have. So all of these things now, you know, come into play as it has to do with adult friendships. If you can navigate all of these things, easily, it would help you maintain a long adult friendship. But once you're faced with challenges about navigating, all of these things that life is going to throw at you, then of course the adult friendship it will not have a balance, and so it will fade easily.
Okay, so I don't know what magic or what bond there seemed to be in that childhood friendship, but there's just this emotional thing. There are emotions attached to it, I think, or sentiments.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
because I have
So
known this person all my life, so it's a
yes,
good reason for me to know, for me to forgive, for me to overlook, for me to na so it be, you
yes.
know.
So what forms the basis of childhood friendship is you have a longer time of shared memories. So you see, we grew up together. We went to the same school together. Remember that if you take out the nursery years, the primary school is 6 years. The secondary school is another 6 years. That's 12 years. And that's if you went straight to secondary school from primary school. Now, for those who stayed at home maybe 1 year or 2 years, that has added on to the number of years. You now add university, depending on if ASU will allow you graduate in time or not. So you are looking at another 4 to 10 years of university. So you're looking at someone you've spent at least 15, no, at least, okay, 12 plus 4, so 16 years with minimum. Now, for some, it is even from crèche, so from kindergarten, nursery school, primary school. Some were even born in the same hospital because their parents were friends. So, you know, so you have a longer time. And then because you're a child, there is no bias about this friendship. So there is this unconditional acceptance.
Precious,
That,
do I agree
yeah,
with you? I don't think I agree with you.
it's not in all cases,
Okay.
but these are the things that help strengthen the so-called childhood friendships.
Okay,
I
so
hope you know that the same way we have childhood friendships, we have childhood enemies. Person do something for primary school, you still carry am till
for
now.
mind. Okay, so but
Yes.
you know why? So as you were speaking, I was just going through my own childhood, and so I have friends that we started KG1 together. Yes.
Yeah.
So we did KG1. So usually, so I did KG1 to 3, primary 1 to 5,
Yeah.
JSS 1 to 6, and then uni.
Yeah.
And this particular set of people, we started from KG1, like KG1.
Yeah.
And guess what? It's not like we were best of friends.
No, no, no.
So let me
I
explain.
understand.
Yes, so it's not like we were best of friends, but we spent 3 years and 5 years, in primary school. But in
Yeah.
that friendship, I had a best friend. And guess what? The person I called my best friend is not always with me. We don't see. Like we didn't
Yes.
go to the same secondary school. We went to uni, but guess what? Even in uni, we didn't used to see because she was in a different department. I was in a different department. We had separate friends. There are times we were not speaking, but guess what? If you ask me who is your best friend, I will call her name.
It's the formative years now.
Do you understand? But guess what?
Yes.
My wedding, she was my chief bridesmaid.
So that's why I'm talking about the shared memories.
Guess
The
what? You
shared
saw her at
childhood.
our graduation.
Are you serious?
Yes, she was there.
So
But
she
guess
has
what?
been at all of your milestones.
Yeah, so she's always, she's always there. And then, guess what? We speak maybe twice a year.
That's what I call the unconditional acceptance. Like, it's not the duration of how long. Okay, so while I was brainstorming on this topic today with a friend of mine, I told her that in the last couple of months, there's this my friend from secondary school that has just been checking up on me. So she calls, she doesn't start off the conversation with, oh, you have abandoned me. Oh. You said, since the last time I called you, you haven't called me back. No, she just goes straight to the point. Precious, I've been, I thought about you and I said, before I get into my day's activities,
Let me
let me
call
just
you.
say, hi, how are you doing? And I said, I'm fine, how's the family? And that's all. And I'm cool and I feel so good. Like you said, personally, I don't have to talk to my childhood friends every week or even every month. Do you believe that there are people I haven't seen for 20 years that if I see them today, you would think we have been in contact all this while? So there's something about forming that bond when you are children.
As children, yes.
Yes. So I would say the innocence of the childhood phase where you know that you're not making friends with this person because of what you can get from the person or because of what the person is gaining from you. That's why the person is close to you. Our parents then didn't even, most of them didn't understand the power of networking with, powerful parents. Like, oh, my kids must be friends with this person. Sometimes we made friends with people our parents didn't even want us to make friends with. And somehow we were able to maintain those friendships. So the the passage of time is actually what helps. Now with adult friendships, because of all of the complications of adulthood, so you're thinking about jealousy, you're thinking about the person is trying to, one up on you, you're thinking about so many things. You might not even have time to invest so much in the friendship, especially if the friendship, the adult. So there's some adult friendships that started from you finish university and you started working. Now these people are they've resigned, or not resigned, sorry, retired. So there are people my mom met in her workspace while she was still working that they are friends till now. Not all of them, but some of them. Why? They also had time to spend time, like they had 35 working years together. So it also helped them build the friendship over time. There are things that would play around. So, like I said, there are similarities, there are differences, and then there are advantages to each. Sometimes you meet your childhood friends, you introduce them to your now friends, and it becomes a problem for you who did the introduction. because who your childhood friends know and who your now friends know can be two different personalities.
Okay, so I think for me, it's a bit different. And why I say this, I'm not a regular, my kind of friendship is not the kind, is regular kind of friendship, you know?
Yeah.
So I have acquaintances. There are people, I talk to a lot of people. But my friends, you know, like I said, for some reason, I know they stress myself for friendship. I don't. Because you don't pick me. Do you understand? I'm not, my kind of friendship is not that one that you impose friendship on me. No, you don't. You can't. I have to want to be your friend for us to be friends. Do you understand? So I am not in
Yes.
that, I never find myself in that space where I can't be myself. Because I get very uncomfortable when I'm that person. So that's why I don't let you pick me. I pick. So if you they bring friendship where I not like, come meet me, I they go. Because I know the energy, kind of energy I have when it comes to friendship. There are days I want to be alone. There are days I
Yeah.
don't feel like talking.
Yeah.
And I know what I want. I have, my mindset is in the right place. My head is in the right place. So I'm not easily influenced with, so that you can't get me to do certain things. Anything I don't want
Yeah.
to do, I don't do it. So, and because I'm coming with friends from way back, and then another problem is more of my friends are family than
You see
outsiders.
that part? That part is one of the amazing things that can happen to you.
Precious. So I have friends in my house, my family that are in their 70s. I have friends, when I mean friend, I will call you and tell you all the nasty things I have done in my life. My cousins, my older cousins are my friends. So I find that I don't get to talk to outsiders. Do you understand? So,
Yeah.
Precious, I'm on my phone. So let me tell you my regular routine. Why I feel my friends now begin to feel very uncomfortable in my space if they are those kind of clingy friends.
Yeah.
So I get up in the morning. I'm on a call with my brother and my sister. Those ones will do all the gossip we want to do in this life. Then we might add my mom to the call. Do you understand? And we'll do all the
Yeah.
gossip we want to do. After that, my senior cousin, who is also family, who is my friend, will also bring her information to me, and I will now play my own information to her. And get to Precious, this is going into like 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. So sometimes you are my friend, you are calling me, and I'll tell you, sorry, can I call you back? Do you get?
Yeah.
So I'm in that space where there's nothing I have to take out. There are some people who don't have friends in the house, in their family, so they have to take everything out. But I really don't have anything to take out. So you find out that I'm not looking for friends. So when I have friends, it's because I like you and I'm comfortable in your space, not because I'm looking for somebody to lean on.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So I try not to, I don't want to be choked in my friendship. I don't want a friend that if I don't call you, you're giving me an attitude. I will stop the friendship.
My dear, it can be tiring.
Yeah, it's tiring. It doesn't mean I will not give in my all into the friendship,
Of
but
course.
it
Of
has to be
course.
mutual. You understand? At everybody's, I'll give you your space. If you don't want me, if you don't want me your space, I'm fine. So it's not like, oh, I must talk to you. No, it doesn't have to be that. I want the kind of
Exactly.
friendship where we don't need to speak, we understand. But man, when you need me, I will be there.
I'm
That's the kind
there.
of friendship I want.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, and guess what? When it comes to adult friendship, I have a friend, I think one of the newest friends I made, one of the newest was like in 2020. And she's like my baby. Do you understand? Like
Okay.
I call her, she's my body. And if you see her, I've taken her to my circle, family and everything. I don't even have to sit with her. She'd already blend. Do you understand? Because I have
Yeah.
this close, so my friends are small. I have this small circle.
Small circle, yeah.
Yes,
And
it's
it
not
works
big.
for you because that's who you are.
That's who I am. And in that small circle, everybody know they do nonsense. So I'm okay leaving you. Nobody is looking for, everybody busy, you know. So
That makes sense.
yeah, so I'm trying to understand how, and as I be keep friend where friendship is
Yes,
important
but it
to
takes
me.
a lot. So you don't want to just let go of the friendship so easily.
It's
So
important to me. So I kind of,
invest.
I keep
Yes.
it. I respect it. So I
Yes.
respect your boundaries. I respect, I respect you as a person. And maybe because I
Yes.
also want you to respect me,
Yeah.
you know. So, but I understand. So when I see people having issues with friendship, it's a problem for me.
Even me. So I try to, I tell people when you're going into a friendship, try to find out what you want. So don't go into a friendship just because, so you go into a social setting and just because you see groups of people sitting down and talking together and nobody's paying you any attention, you just feel left out. And for that reason, you want to have a friend within that circle. No. Why are you at that gathering at that point in time?
Okay.
Pick what you're there for and get out. Now, when it has to do with making friends, be intentional from the onset. I have this group of friends that I met in the last couple of years. I met them in 2020, 2021. And we were a large number. So I met them in the social circle. And I found out that, we had like similar friends. So like a couple of my friends were in this other larger circle and they're like, oh, Delicious, come and join and all of that. But it was as if fate carried a sieve and just helped me to figure out the people that me and them are on the same wavelength.
Okay.
And it took me, or it took all of us, not just me, because it was not just my effort, it was the effort of those particular. So it was like, when you just carry a magnet and put among something, and only the things that are metal will attract to the magnet. That was what happened to us. Somehow we just came together. And the people who have seen us, when I mean the people, like our family members who have seen us, are amazed at how quickly we bonded, how we have shared interests and goals, how we look out for each other, and how, in fact, that this one is sweet paper. So send a me fuck up now. They know they fear to put me for middle. Tell me, look, babe, see, we are your ride or die, but you see this particular thing, you fuck up. Next time,
No
no
trial.
trial.
Exact.
And I'm not afraid to say, yes, I fuck up. But I'm on no
Well,
vex.
exactly.
Abeg, what's the best way forward? Because right now, now because I don't know what to do, now why I fuck up.
Good.
I remember there was a decision I wanted to take early last year, January, February. If you see what my friends did to me, they told me, don't try yourself. So they kept a close eye on me until I was going through a phase. I know sometimes if you're going through a phase, there's some decisions you just say, look, anything what may happen, I will do
I go
this
chest
thing.
them.
They no let me. Now, fast forward to 3 months after that phase, I started thanking all of them.
That they didn't make you I'll do something wrong.
If you see they told me, I will report you to everybody if you try it. Don't do it. We know, don't worry, it's a phase, it will pass. And, sometimes you're going through things and you think it will last for longer than, and come to think of it, in less than 3 months, that thing was behind me and I was like, thank God I actually listened to these people. So it's friends that have invested in me and friends have invested in, and we'll be close. So our family members call us sisters. They don't even call us friends anymore. So we show up for each other. I know that if I see my phone ring at a particular time, I don't need to ask, why are you calling me? As I'm picking the call, I'm outside my gate. I just need you to tell me where to meet you.
Meet you.
From there, we'll continue the
But
story.
it's amazing. Yes, it's really amazing if like I have a cousin, a senior cousin. She's older than me with maybe like 15. Yeah, maybe about between 10 and 15 years. Precious. You not get here, I go do, I not go tell her more. And guess what? When I tell her, you would think she'll get upset. She said nothing they happen. Now the only two way you do be that. I will say yes. She'll be like,
See?
it's okay. But if I not do it like this, but it's okay. You know?
Eh,
So those are, those kind of friendships are, very encouraging. People need such people. And again, I think I'm lucky that my family members, play that role, you know.
yeah.
Even my mom, you know. So I think we've gotten to the point where I can actually say anything to my mom, you know.
Yeah.
But again, I understand that if you see families where I've seen people where they don't even have one friend in their family.
Yes.
So they depend on outsiders, And luckily they find, you
Yes.
understand,
Yes.
such amazing people, from their friendships outside. But again, some people have had really bad experiences with friends.
Yes. Yes.
And trust me,
Unfortunately.
you can't blame them. You can't say it's their fault that they didn't make the right choices. Because how do you even start that?
People are shaped by their experiences, and you can never fully understand the childhood experiences or the dynamics surrounding someone's family when they were kids. And so you cannot fully blame, because if some of your friends, so there's this thing about language in friendships. So there are sometimes some of your friends only understand when you speak to them in a particular way, when you act in a particular way, because that's the way they know how to show love or feel love. So if you meet those kind of people and you don't understand their own friendship language, it's going to be a challenge. And sometimes you really have to be patient, because like you said, some people have gone through. So even within the family circle, there was nobody they could lean on. There was nobody they could meet for support. It was just all man for himself, God for us all. And then they went on to have one bad friendship after another. And so they've lost all hope in friendships. And they go through life feeling, oh, I don't think I'm ever destined to have good friends. When you meet those type of people, they can be cynical, they can be, skeptical about even wanting to be friends with you. It can be a difficult position for even you who is trying to be a good friend.
So
But
I don't
again, with time, those people can find out that, look, there is something called,
called real friendship.
yes.
So I again, I don't know how people do friendship, but again, you see people with different dynamics, because I know a friend of mine. He's been like my friend since KG1. So there's this joke we always make. He says, comport yourself, like, for who now? You know when they wear tear pants,
Exactly.
and he will laugh and he will shake his head. But guess what? I have noticed that he has a very soft spot for us that are in that group, because I have seen him in another group where he has other friends from maybe, okay, so we went to primary school together, and then so I went to school, in campus. You go from the
Yeah.
primary school in campus to the secondary school in campus, on
Okay,
campus,
yeah.
sorry. So we went from primary school on campus to secondary school on campus. So some of us were in primary school together, and then some people were in federal. So in secondary school, people came from different schools. So we had new friends. So the old people from staff school came into secondary school, and we now had other friends. So we had some new friends in secondary school.
Yes.
So I found out that, and then some of us uni. Some of us now went from same primary school, same secondary school to same uni.
Yes.
So we are in several groups together. And I see there's this particular person. I see how he would not even stand for an insult from somebody else in that same group. You'll be thinking, okay, why? And then when I reach out, I'm like, no, they use yourself, they compare this person. Me and this person not be born tools. You don't understand? And I'm like, but guess what? There's also a bond. It's not be the same. So I have seen people, treat people differently. So the way they treat people from primary school, different people, the way they treat people in the secondary school, and the way they treat people in uni. And that's like Those people are supposed to be your good friends.
Yes.
So we're not talking about, and that's not, would you say, I wouldn't call uni adult friendship. I don't know.
No. So for uni, it's not an adult friendship. It's just, okay, will you say young adults?
Young adults, yes.
Because
Teenage,
then
yeah.
those people were just, for some
Getting
people,
to
uni was
discover
the first time they
themselves.
were on their own. Why
Yeah, they're
some,
just
even in
getting to
uni, they were
discover
actually not
themselves.
on their own because they were still going to school from their parents' houses.
So I see the way
Yes.
he treats those people, and I'm like, so there's actually a bond.
Yes, there is.
Nobody can take it away. There's a bond, and I've even seen people who are not even in my group and all that. The way they speak about friends they've known from way back.
It's the same thing
There's a
everywhere.
sentiment towards that friendship that makes them tolerate a lot of things from some people that they would never
Because,
tolerate from any other person.
yes,
Yes.
yes, because you knew that person in their most innocent state.
Would you
And so
say
you know that
would you say
at the
innocent
heart
or
of,
vulnerable?
okay, so vulnerable state. No, even innocent too. The reason why I say that is you knew that person when that person did not know okay, so while growing up, we knew the fundamental difference between wrong and right, hurting someone and loving someone. So at that state, there was no, will I say there was no corruption found yet.
So
So you
I don't
knew
want
the
to use
person when
big
the
big
person,
I don't want to use big
so I'm
language.
looking for something.
That's
So you
why I
knew the
think
person when nothing
vulnerable,
is
because
there.
that's why I used vulnerable, because I feel at that point you were
Yes.
not trying to be anything. It was
No, you
it
were
was
just
just
being
yeah,
you.
it was just you. So I think that's your most vulnerable state. You understand? That
And
was,
all of us
you
were
were just
figuring it
naked.
out together.
Yes. So
If
that
I go through something, I'm not ashamed to tell you. And you say, oh,
exactly. So I wasn't.
yesterday, that
So
was
at
what I
that
went
point,
through.
at that stage, you were not trying to prove anything. At that stage, you were
No.
just trying to live. You were just trying to be a
Yes.
child. So you were not trying to give something that you were not. There's no pretense. So that's why I would use most vulnerable states.
Yeah, most
Because
vulnerable. I think,
yes,
yeah, that would be the
that's
best.
what I
Yeah.
would use, because it comes with innocence, it comes with a pure heart, it just comes with that
Yes.
vulnerable state, comes with everything, you know.
It's like an empty slate, and you and I are figuring out what to
Clean
write in it.
slates. So you just put yourself in
Yeah.
and we get it out, you understand? Because
Yes.
you'll find out that even at that time, you have people from diverse and different background come together
Yes.
to be friends. Nobody cares who your
Yes.
father is or who your
No.
father was. Do you understand?
No.
Nobody wanted to
Yeah.
know. Nobody wanted to know whether you were eating, having 3 square meal. If those things didn't matter. It was just
Yes.
friendship.
Yes. Now, one of the things that easily affects childhood friendships is the growing up. So we grow up. Now, this is what affected some. It didn't affect all of the friendships, but there were
Move.
some that because of growing up, and also with each generation, it's different. So the generation where they didn't have social media, it was easier to drift apart. What I mean by drift apart is parents relocated. You probably didn't have time to find out from your friend what state or what country they were going to, and so you couldn't keep
Keep
in
up.
touch. Yes. And so sometimes you lost contact for 10 years. And all of a sudden, you hear this name somewhere, or even 15 years. You hear this name somewhere, and you're like, oh, I used to know
Oh.
one Mr. So and so that lived so and so place with his kids. And are you by any chance related to them? And then the person says, oh, I kept saying you looked familiar, you looked familiar, So there's this reunion. But with kids of, in the later years when Facebook came out and BlackBerry and To Go and all of those, it was easier to not drift apart or lose touch so much for so long, rather.
Precious, they still lose
So
touch.
like
Oh,
right
this
now,
Gen, they still lose touch. Oh.
no, they lose touch not because of the
Relocation or move.
disadvantage. Yes, they lose touch because they want to. Because right now, trust me, the people who left secondary school 5 years ago, they know that even if they don't hear from anybody, all they needed to do was go and type the Facebook name, the name on Facebook.
So, but I think,
But there are people of
okay, so no, Precious, you're going to say something. Finish before I thought you
so,
had done.
so
I thought you
people
were done.
of the older generation. Do you know there are people that I know that are not on any social media?
True.
So when you lose touch with those kind of people, lose contact with them, how do you get? So that's just what I'm trying to say, that the internet time is actually making it easier for the people now not to lose contact or not to be able to keep more in touch. But they have a tool that they don't use. Then you would have to, like, I remember walking into an office and somebody mentioned a name that I was familiar with. And it was exciting to hear that name because I knew my parents were looking for that name or that person for a while. And I've overheard them talk about it a lot. And, you know, as a smart person, I just made a few comments. And I was able to get my parents to reunite, so to speak, with that family. You know, so, but now it's something that you don't want to know. If our people of old or even the older generation had the internet, I don't think you would have the time in between the so-called, you know, childhood friendships. And even when they meet now, nobody's thinking about, oh, so who are you now? And where are you now? It's all about, I'm so happy to see you. Oh, I remember when we lost touch and how I felt. But oh, it's so good seeing you. What is it now? You hear 30 years and everybody is happy and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So
but
it
Precious,
actually,
what would you say? So, but what would you say is the major problem with adult friendship?
the major problem with adult friendship is the suspicion behind even the motive of the friendship. Because you now, you and I can meet in a social gathering and you're trying to be friends with me, like you said. So let's even forget about your unique personality. In a general setting, you and I meet in a social gathering and probably I like the way you speak, the way you dress, or you just heard my name, Delicious, and I think just for that name, I want to get to know this person. And in my head, I'm like, who be this one? What's it happen? Why is she trying to all of a sudden want to be friends with me? Oh, is it maybe because she heard I mentioned I know? So the suspicion behind the motives of friendship, you just think someone is trying to take advantage of you. When sometimes the person just wants to be your friend.
Okay. Okay. You know why I am saying okay? I went for an event 2 weeks ago. It was a conference. And there was this very nice looking lady. She was actually trying to start up a conversation with me, but I wasn't interested. Because in my head, I came for something. It wasn't about why was she trying to start up a conversation or something. I think it was just about me not, not getting comfortable with talking to people the first time. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Except I now listen to you speak and I feel that, okay, fine, I can have a conversation with this person. And I think, so the honest truth is because most times, in those gatherings, I don't want to be in a situation where somebody is just talking and I get upset, things like that. So, but when she now started talking, so that actually brought up a very interesting topic that, okay, I said, okay, she's smart. Do you understand? And we had a good conversation. But that was where that's where it ended. But I know
Yeah.
that people begin to make friends from such conversations. And the
Yes.
next thing
Yeah.
they share numbers, and the next thing they begin to talk. So most times, not wanting to have a conversation is not because you're asking yourself, what does this person want from me?
Oh no. It's about the friendship, not even the conversation.
No, for me, it's about, I don't even have space right now.
Okay, so now this is what I will say. The gathering also matters. You went there for a conference. It was not a picnic. You didn't go with your family to the park. So you were there for a reason, a conference. So in my head, I'm like, okay, if I'm there for a conference, sometimes you don't want to talk with a lot of people. That's fine. If I go to an event, it depends on the kind of event. I can also be very serious and just wear a very serious face that will be
Face.
unapproachable until I leave. Sometimes it might also be because I'm timing myself. But if I start becoming too friendly now, I will overspend spend time here. Meanwhile, I have somewhere else that I'm going to. So I'm just here to finish what I'm here to do, and I pick up my bag and I leave. I went to a book reading a couple of days back, and I went there alone. I was invited by someone. I went there alone. I didn't even start looking for who invited me. I just went, found a seat close to the door because I'd already timed how long I wanted to stay in that place. Do you know that while the book reading was still going on, I had gotten what? So for me, it was other poets. It was a book reading about plenty poets and all of that. So other poets came around, book lovers, and some people did reviews. I was just waiting for the writer, the author. So the moment he came, spoke about the introduction, and he was being interviewed, I got what I needed to do. Told myself, "Oh, Precious, you would love this type of literature in your arsenal." I quickly stood up from my seat, went to where the books were being sold. That was when the person who invited me met me at the table. I was like, "You're leaving?" I said, "Yes, I have somewhere else I need to be." But is it possible you can get the author to sign the book for me? And he said, "Yes, can I give him that? They're about to run that session was about to round up in like 5 minutes." And I said, "Fine." And I paid for the book. He collected it from me. We unwrapped it because it was sealed. He went. I waited after about 7 or 8 minutes. The author, I didn't need to see the author. Like, he didn't need to. I just said, "Look, tell him my name is Delicious. He should just write what he needs to on it." And I brought out my book and I told the man, "Thank you very much." And I moved on. I did not greet anybody. I didn't talk to anybody. For me, somebody would say, she been carry face for the auntie. I know why I went there. I got the reason why I was there, and I left. Did I have an amazing time?
Yes. Yes. So I because I'm trying to, and I also think that, you see, adult friendship, I don't want to say it comes with a lot of baggage, but
it's challenging. It's challenging.
It's so challenging, honestly. Okay, so but we're due for a break. Let's quickly go on a break, and then when we come back, we would break it down.
Stay tuned. Heartlines will be right back.
This season on Heartlines, we're committed to making a difference in people's lives. So Heartlines, in partnership with Veda Consult, is offering 12 free slots of counseling every quarter for people in need of professional counseling. Additionally, we're taking on 2 pro bono cases for individuals navigating a challenging divorce. To participate, please send an email to counsel@vedaconsult.com with your story. Our team will carefully review all submissions and will contact all the shortlisted candidates. Heartlines is live Mondays to Fridays at 10 p.m, so engage with us.
Thanks for staying with us on Heartlines.
Okay, so welcome back. Please note that you can share your story with us via WhatsApp number 081 903 84663 or call in to join in the conversation on 07025007749 or 07014242420. And please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. Okay, so Precious, we are trying to understand why we have established that, okay, so for childhood friendship, there's this bond that comes with a bit of sentiment, with a lot of sentiment and emotions.
Yeah.
But we also have some adult friendships.
Yeah.
That are very short, but they look like they've known each other for like 20 something years.
Yes.
There's some very good adult friendships, and I think it has to do more with the people involved in the relationship than the friendship itself. Because
exactly.
Yes, because I feel that for every friendship, if you're willing to do the work, it works. If you're willing to put in. But what determines whether you're willing to put in is when you see if it's what you understand investing in.
Yes.
So
Yes.
how do we get to know? Because in my head, I'm sure one of the reasons why we're having this conversation is to help people salvage bad relationships or friendship. Because anything that's demanding, I can't take it. Anything that will drain me, you can't find me there. Because adulthood is already complicated enough.
Exactly.
Adulthood is complicated enough that I don't want to begin to, do you understand? So
Yeah.
really, if it's going to give me any problem, I'm out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So really differently in adult friendship.
Okay, so for adult friendships, we need to understand that the benefits we get from childhood friendships, we can also get from adult friendships. In fact, we should be able to get those same, if not even more, adult friendships. Why? We already have a baseline of history that we can, or past experiences that we can draw on to foster this new one, to help this one that we are now forming in our adulthood. What kind of experiences? So you already know how you like to be treated. You already understand what you want out of a friendship. You already understand what you would give. So when you're forming this new adult friendship, form it with the mindset, and this goes to everybody involved. Form it with the mindset that, look, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to be hurt. If there is anything that I'm doing that you don't like, because remember, we are also going through, we're going to go through the getting to know phase. Sometimes a simple thing as raising your voice can trigger the other person.
True.
So that person should be able to quickly share with you what their past experiences are like.
Good.
Or have been. So it gives you a basis. I'm not saying you can know all of these things overnight.
Okay.
So there is someone that I met this year that I met her last year socially, and it's only this year that we started hanging out, so to speak. One of the things that have helped us in that friendship is we schedule. I'm a coffee drinker, she's a coffee drinker. We schedule regular coffee dates, so to speak.
Okay.
So we sit over a cup of coffee. It can be 30 minutes, it can be 1 hour. And we converse about how our respective last couple of days have gone, and we look for the common ground in what I went through and what she went through. Oh, this is what I went through at work, my boss this, my colleague, oh, my sister this, and I tell her, oh, my business is what I went through, or my coaching business is what I went through, or. And so we find out the common ground or the common thread that helped us through all of what we went through the last couple of days we had not met. And we look for what would make us happy. Because we're meeting in our adulthood and because of our personalities, who we are, we've been able to circumvent certain obstacles. I'm not saying she hasn't done something that should have upset me, but I understood that she was not doing it because she wanted to particularly upset me. It's just because she did not know that that thing would upset me. What did I do? I asked myself, if I sit her down and have a talk with her, would it make any sense? Would it worsen the situation or make it better? And would it change how I feel? I already know she acted that way because she didn't know that it would upset me. Is it something she's going to do again and again? Do you know, when I thought about all of these things, I didn't bother talking to her about it. And trust me, from that day till date, she hasn't even made that error anymore. Have I also done the same? Yes. I realized one day there was a comment I made, and it was how I acted around her when so there's a friend of hers I had been talking to, like, if I call her while she's at work, this guy is there. Like, he's her colleague. And she had told me something, and I was like, okay, that's fine. The guy too had chatted me up and told me something. And then one day I finally went to visit her at work, and she introduced me to the guy.
Okay.
And there was a comment the guy made. How I responded upset her. I noticed that immediately I made my response, her countenance and behavior changed. So I knew I had crossed a line. Did I start asking her exactly what did I say? Is it how I said, I just knew what I had done. So what did I do? I backtracked immediately. if you see, it was so fast. I'm sure she was like, Delicious, I think you just fucked up. And we laughed over it. It took us like a week of, I will not say tiptoeing around each other, but a week of almost not being at that level we were. And then I just made her understand that, look, okay, I know I came to your office and see what happened. That statement, yes, it was not right. And it was wrong of me to agree with him, even when he was making a wrong statement. And I know it made you feel uncomfortable. But don't worry about it. He and I, it's not like we're going to be friends. So it's not like, that type of a conversation will ever take place again. And it's like, oh, she's fine with it. She has already moved past it. And that was it.
So really, part of what is necessary is accountability and being able to identify
quick
when you have
accountability. Very quick accountability. So you can quickly move past the challenges that you face as adults. Because we don't have the luxury of time.
Okay, but don't you think that if we as adults, you understand, get to understand people better, it would also help relationship? Because, for example, if I have a friend who, she seems as if she's detached in the sense that she doesn't have emotions. But she's just overwhelmed with a lot of things. So sometimes when you are telling her something, when something happens, she's not there, except you now bring her attention to it. Do you understand? She's most times absent-minded when she's doing something else. So because I know that, when she started, I'm like, I've said several times to her, I said, you can't multitask. Do you understand? So for me, it's not that she's not interested in what I'm saying. I just know that she can't multitask. So, but somebody else will say she's not interested. And it becomes a bad thing. You understand?
Yes.
And it becomes something negative. Also, sometimes, she's so involved in the things that she's doing that there's some things you will say to her. Maybe, sometimes the way you are, if you're someone who, you are very good at handling issues yourself most times. You are not that, if nobody is coming to pat you on the back to say, hey, well done and everything, when somebody needs it from you, you won't know.
Because you don't understand what he feels like. You don't know what he looks like.
It's not something you are used to. You understand?
Yes.
So somebody, it's just like me it's just like me now. Maybe I'm that person who goes to put on my gen in my house. I'm that person who goes to the mechanics and all that. I do all those things. And then I meet somebody who is lamenting because she needs me to say, hey, yeah, sorry. If you're saying, I'm like, hey, yeah, if you're to complain about like, hey, yeah, well done, no. You understand? It's not a big deal because I do it.
Yes.
But maybe she's not used to it and she expects to say, oh, no, why are you doing all that? That kind of thing. It happens. So sometimes I think we do not understand ourselves. But we think we do. And with adults or in adulthood, we kind of jump into conclusion and assumptions very fast.
Yes,
as a
so
child,
what happens if we project our
we analyze things and assume a lot. As children, you're not overthinking anything. As it be, now so it be. So you're not bothering yourself with unnecessary details. Do you understand? But as adults, we tend to overanalyze things a lot, even when it's not necessary. Yes, it's good to analyze and break down things when needed. But sometimes, because we feel we're adults, we know everything, we think what we are thinking is what the other person is thinking. And we just say, oh, this person is acting like this because she doesn't like me. This person is acting like this because she thinks I'm prettier than her. This person is acting like this because I just bought a car. And it begins to create a lot of problems.
Yes.
If I reach out to a friend and she doesn't feel like talking, I won't think I did anything to her. I feel like she's going through her own issues.
I am like that. Instead, what my brain will tell me is
she's dealing with something.
This person probably needs, She okay.
Do you know what my brain will tell me, Precious? That person needs space.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, Delicious, take a step back. So
take a step back. You won't see me again. And guess what happens? The person that say, I offend you. I was like, no, I offend me. No, I just felt you needed time. I just felt you needed your space. That's it.
Yes. I don't, in my head, I'm like, okay, because when I need my space, I don't call you on the phone and say, look, I need my space. Instead, it is in the way I act, you know that I need my space. And once I'm done with whatever it was that I needed the space,
I get out of my mood.
Everywhere is as right as rain. So, but not everybody. So our individual experiences, because we can all grow up in the same house, but again,
Our views are
we
completely
have
different.
Yes, our views and our behaviors are completely different.
True.
So we have to also understand. I tell people, if you can get along with your siblings, as crazy and as problematic as some siblings are, you still get along with them.
Then you
Why
can
can't
get along
you
with anybody.
with your friends?
No, but
With
true,
the people
Precious.
you
So I
choose.
think there's a difference. You know, with siblings, it's easier to forgive. You tolerate some things better. But with us, just the same thing, we're talking about childhood friends and adult friends. There's some things you
Yes.
would tolerate from your childhood friend. You adult do and you say, so shall we really?
So, but that's what we're saying. If you can tolerate it with A, you should be able to
No, so
tolerate
Precious,
it
let
with
me tell you something. So that's the thing. So I was having a conversation with a friend today and I said, so I was like, for some reason, you know, if you were in a marriage and you leave that marriage, you find out that you would the things that happen to you in that marriage, you will never repeat them in the new relationship.
you learn from your mistakes.
Exactly. You learn from your mistake. You have grown, so you know what you can take and what you can't take. You know what you can't take. It's the same thing with friendship. The things you took
Yes.
as a child, you have tolerated. Precious, trust me, the things your childhood friends will do to you, you can't stand it with your new friends.
And no, where they want stand, take do the thing first.
You can't do exactly. You can't do those things. So I think people just evolve and they say, okay, you know what? I have evolved. I have grown. I'm taking it from this person, but I'm not going. This set of people, I will take it from them because I've known them for so long. But this other person, no. Boundaries. That's where boundaries comes in. Boundaries. They'll say, okay, so we have boundaries. So the boundaries you have with your siblings are different from the boundaries you have with friends.
Yes.
So it can be the same.
The boundaries are different. Yes.
Yes. Okay, so Precious, before we go, final thoughts on this conversation because we're running out of time.
So I would say, regardless of whether they are your childhood friends, childhood friendships, or adult friendships, understand that it's supposed to be a place of joy, peace, emotional support, and all that. But basically, love and life with both childhood friends and adult friendship. Know when to draw the boundaries, know how to be a good friend, know how to receive a good friend. But understand that both can serve you better because you are also a childhood friend to somebody else and an adult friend to somebody else.
True that. But I will say that pick your friends. You don't have to be friends with everybody. And if you know you don't have to be friends with everybody, then the people you choose to be friends with, you'll be invested in that relationship. You would do anything to keep that relationship. You would nurture it with love. Do you understand? So basically, if it is not every friendship not everybody must be your friend. So when you have that sense, when you know that this is a friendship you want, you get it, you would nurture it better. So you won't have issues with trying to keep a relationship you don't want to be in.
Yeah.
And then if in the long run you find out, oh, this person is my friend, but there are issues we're having, because you're invested in it, you want to try and solve it. It's not something you just want to let go just like that. You know, you want to take your time, to say, oh, what's the problem? Can we solve whatever the problem is? Can we move past it or something? But when you allow people pick you as friends and all that, sometimes you're exhausted because friendship takes a lot. It's too much. It's too much work. So I would advise people to please pick your friends. It's not every friendship that is right or good for you. So be sure you're in a relationship that is right and good for you so that you can invest in it emotionally and what's the second word, Precious? Emotionally and
mentally.
And mentally. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. Thank God it's Friday. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thank God it's Friday.
Bye.